Most people treat AI like a slot machine. They type in lazy sentence like, write me a cover letter. They pull the handle and they hope they get a lucky result. And when they get generic garbage, they blame the AI. They say ChatGPT is overrated or Claude can't code. But the top 1% of engineers, developers, and even founders don't chat with AI. They program it. They understand that English is the new programming language. And just like Python or JavaScript, if your syntax is wrong, your code will definitely break. In 2025, demand for prompt engineering skills spiked by 250%. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a digital portfolio manager and also an AI specialist. So last week, I hosted a seminar where I taught tech and digital professionals on how to leverage AI to scale their professional career. So at the end of the session, I realized that I recorded the session, even though I clicked on record, but it did not record. So somehow, Zoom decided not to record that session. And since then, I've been getting lots of messages from people that attended the session asking me for a replay of that session. The session was supposed to last for an hour, but because we had lots to cover on that day, it lasted for about 2 hours. So what I promised them was that I'm going to recreate that session, but this time around I won't recreate the whole 2 hours videos because it will be too long. So what I'll do basically will be to break it down into different topics. On that day, we covered a whole lot, different topics from prompt engineering to different AI tools, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, Notebook LM, and even vibe coding as well. So what I basically will do this time around will be to break the session into different parts. So I would start from talking about going in depth into prompt engineering. Then once I'm done with that, I'll create another video that I'll look into the next tool that we talked about. Then go through each and every one of the tools we discussed in that session. So that way I don't throw out a very long video to you guys and you might find it hard to digest the whole information in one go. So that's why I'm placing it into different scenes, into different videos, so it will be easy for you to digest and for you to follow along. Okay, so before we proceed, let's just quickly take a look at the agenda of what we discussed at the seminar and how I'll be breaking them down going forward. So I'll start from talking about the advanced prompting, which is the prompt engineering. And after that, I will look at learning at speed. This is where we look at the different tools that I learn with, different tools that I've used in accelerating the speed at which I learn things, and how you can also do the same as well. Then we'll look at vibe coding. So vibe coding is a very interesting one because I've been playing with it a whole lot lately. I've been able to vibe code tools, softwares that I never ever imagined that I'd be able to create myself. I even created two tooling applications yesterday, which I was able to download and install on my laptop. I never ever thought I'd be able to do that without writing a single line of code. I'm sure you don't want to miss that. It will be very, very interesting for you to see that. We'll also look at the one-person empire where you'll be able to start up your own business from start to finish and also be able to push to production and do the marketing and all that. Then we'll look at agentic AI, including anything, how to set up a workflow, how to set up an automation, and how to do basically everything on anything without you understanding what anything. Okay, you need to understand what it's all about, but you don't have to be an expert to know how to create an agentic workflow. With tools like Claude Code, you'll be able to do that with just a single prompt. And lastly, we'll look at the proof paradox, which basically will teach you how to be able to get clients even without you having lots of followers, lots of engagements, running ads, or even having testimonials to show that you've been able to make some success. So we'll go through all this in depth. But first, we'll dive into prompt engineering and look into it in depth for you to understand how to ask the right question and how to start programming AI instead of just chatting and playing around with them. Stay tuned. Now, before we dive deep into prompt engineering properly, I would like to first of all go through this comparison between the slot machine and also the engineer. So slot machine is just like the amateur or like the gambler that's trying to see if they can make something good out of their gambling, or if they can win, or if they can get the result out of it. So when you impute like a vague prompt, you always definitely get generic fluff, or you get an hallucination, or at times you may get an okay result, which is what I call the hope strategy. So you can't impute, you can't give an AI something like write a cover letter and you expect to get something much more details. So you get exactly what you're giving to the AI. But if you look at the pro side of it, like a programmer or like what the professional will impute, you have a framework or a protocol which you impute. If you use the craft framework to ask the AI for something, definitely you'll get a precision or a precision asset, or you get a precise result of what you're expecting. You get much more details compared to just giving a vague prompt or a vague text. So craft framework is very important when it comes to prompting because it helps you tell the AI exactly what you want, and with that, the AI can give you an absolute details of what you're expecting to get from them in return. So this is called the engineering strategy, and this is what we're going to look deeper into this course. Now let's scroll down and talk about the craft framework. Now, the craft framework is a very, very important framework which helps you get an accurate result from the AI. First, the C stands for context. So context in the sense that you're telling the AI, giving the AI exactly what you want to get. Like you're saying, where are we? What is the backstory? Giving them details, giving them more context, adding more flesh to what you're trying to tell them about, what you want them to give you in return. So once you give them more information, it helps them to understand better what you're trying to do. So that is where context comes into. Then A is for action. So this is exactly what you want the AI to do. And this is one of the most important part of it all, because this is where you have to add your chain of thoughts, which is a step-by-step process of how you want the AI to take your prompting, or how you want the AI to give you back the answer or the response step by step in details. So we'll start from the step 1, step 2, step 3. So that is very important as well, because with that you'll be able to get a detailed information of what you're asking from the AI. Then we'll look at the role. So who do you want the AI to be? Who do you want the AI to act as? Do you want the AI to be a professional? Do you want the AI to be a scientist? Do you want the AI to be an engineer? Just give the AI any role. AI can assume any role you want them to be. And once you give them that role, it makes them believe that they are the specialist in that field. So that helps them in giving you a specialist information or a specialist response, which will be much more tailored to what you're looking for. Then also the format. So format also is it's a form of shaping your output. How do you want your output to be presented back to you? Do you want it in table format? Do you want it in JSON? Do you want it in Python? Do you want it in bullet lists? How exactly do you want the AI to spit out the response back to you? So that's the format. Now in the tone. So this basically is how you want the AI to sound. How do you want the AI do you want it to sound like you? Do you want it to sound like somebody else? Do you want it to sound like somebody much more experienced in that field? So it depends on how you want them to sound and how you want people to perceive you as well. So that is very, very important. So here you look at a few short prompting. We look at example, where you give the example, like example of how you used to sound, example of how you script, or how you write an article, or how you write your own story. So with that, they have a much more detail of how you sound and how they'll be able to present your prompt back to you. So that's basically what the craft framework is all about. It's very important that we understand this, because once you have this locked down, you'll be able to tell the AI exactly what you want, and you'll get the best result out of the AI. That's craft framework. Now, let's look at the anatomy of an elite prompt. Let's break down the craft framework step by step, or break it down into different layers so you understand the reason why it is called the craft framework. Now, most importantly, your prompt should always be returned back to you in Markdown language. So you should make sure that the AI respond back to you in Markdown. I'll explain shortly in detail why I think Markdown is much better than plain sentence or plain English. So I'll look at that in much more detail in some few minutes. Let's just quickly complete this first of all. So now this is basically what the prompt is all about. This is exactly the craft framework we talked about. We have the role, we have the context, we have the action, we have the format, and we also have the tone. Now, for this role, you see, act as a senior product manager at a B2B SaaS company. Now, you're giving the AI a role. You're telling the AI what to act as. You're telling the AI what you want them to assume, the experience you want them to have in order for them to give you the best response from what you're asking of. Now, the context. We are launching a new feature called Auto Reports. Users are confused about how to set it up. Our goal is to reduce support tickets by 30%. Now you're telling the AI what you're doing. You're telling the AI the pain points. You're telling the AI the results or the expected results you want to get out of it. This is data, this is context. You're telling the AI exactly everything they need to know for them to be able to give you the best response whatsoever. So that is the reason why context is important. Give them much more details. The more detail you give to the AI, the better results you get out of it. Now in the action, this is where the chain of thought comes into play. Now you write an onboarding email sequence. The first step, acknowledge the user's pain points, which is the manual reporting. Step 2, introduce the feature as the hero. And step 3, give one clear call to action to activate it. Now you're giving the AI step-by-step process on how you want them to respond, how you want them to give you your prompts. So this is what we call what they call chain of thoughts. So helping the AI to think first step, think the second step, and think the next step. So without achieving the first step, the AI cannot move to the second step. Without achieving the second step, they can't move to the third step. So this helps the AI to understand better on how to present your response back to you. And lastly, the format. Output as a Markdown table with columns, subject line, body preview, psychology trigger. Now you're telling the AI how you want the response to be presented back to you, not just in plain text, not just in a sentence format, but in a table format. So the AI understands exactly what you want and knows how to give back to you that which you require. So that is that. And the last one is the tone, which is also very important. How do you want the AI to sound? You want it to be empathetic, you want it to be clear, you want it to be concise, and you don't want any marketing fluff. So it's important for you to add this at this stage so the AI understands exactly how to sound. You can also add some negative prompting. If you want the AI not to do some things, add it as well on the tone. But it's important for you to emphasize on how you want them to sound, especially if you're trying to pass some important message across to your client or to your audience. So you need to sound it like for instance, sound professional or sound friendly or sound like in a single tone, or just the way you sound, just the way you want them to see you as or perceive you as. So that is exactly how you should let the AI understand it. Now let's break this down. For the Markdown or for this role, so this role basically is what I call the prime. The prime in the sense that it tells the AI which data set to use. So the AI is a senior product manager. So with that, it knows exactly that the data set it needs to use has to be what the company, B2B SaaS company, uses. So as a senior product manager at B2B SaaS company, the data set that the AI should use for the senior manager or for the senior product manager should be from the B2B SaaS company. So this gives the AI exactly the prime information they need for them to be able to give you back a better response. Now let's look at the goal. So the goal basically is to reduce supporting tickets by 30%. Now this gives the AI a metric for them to aim for. The AI now understands that our target is to reduce support tickets by 30%. So with that, the AI understands what the pain point is and understands exactly what to do to help reduce that pain point. Now for the chain of thoughts, these are the 3-step processes. It could be more than 3, it could be even less than 3. It just depends on what you want the AI to give you back and how you want it to go along in doing that. So this prevents the AI from rambling because it gives them it tells the AI what to do at every stage, every step. So they know if they do step 1, they move to step 2, then they move to step 3. So it helps the AI to be able to think better and give you the best response. Now on the last one, which is the container, this basically is the markdown, the table format. So it makes it readable immediately. It makes it easy to understand. If your sentence is well structured, it's easily understandable by anybody. Like that's the main reason why we asked AI to give us back our response in Markdown, because Markdown language is easy to understand, it is well structured, and it's also best for pair coding or for people that works together. So whenever your colleague or team member looks at it, they'll be able to see the structured format of what you're working on. So that's basically the reason why it's important to have your prompts in Markdown language. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, this is a visual metaphor of what prompt engineering looks like, or what a better prompt looks like in Markdown language and what it looks like in the normal generic sentence that we use in our everyday English. Now, if you're writing in natural English, this is how the AI most times sees what you're writing. Yes, AI still understands what you're writing, but at times it confuses them. They end up not being able to give you the best outputs. But if you're writing in a Markdown logic or Markdown language, it's easier for them to see because it's structured, it's well arranged, it's well structured for them to understand what you're trying to pass across much more easily compared to when you're writing in natural language. That does not mean that AI does not understand natural language, but it's easier for them to understand Markdown language because it's well structured compared to natural language. So this also helps you get the best results faster compared to using natural language. So when you use Markdown, you are formatting your thoughts so the AI can pass them perfectly. So that's the reason why Markdown language is very, very important to use in terms of communicating with AI. Okay, so that's it. And now I have prepared a detailed custom instruction, because basically it's not just about having this prompt or writing a prompt. Yes, you can write a prompt in a craft framework, but if you don't have this prompt well set somewhere, you always come back to keep writing that same prompt whenever you want to carry out a task or whenever you want to get something much more better from AI. So it's important for you to have like a custom instruction where you can use for a custom GPT, or if you're using Claude, you can have it for a project, or you can have it for gems using Gemini, or even for ChatGPT project as well. So I'll just drag this back a bit. Now I have been able to come up with a very, very advanced, detailed custom instruction for prompting. This would definitely help you if you want to create a custom GPT, or if you want to create a project. I'll show you how you can do that right away, but let me quickly explain the steps before we get to that. So for this, you just need to copy. I would link it in the description below, and I'll link the document in the description below, so you can just copy that and use for your own custom GPT, or you can just copy it and use it for your project as well. So this is much more detailed, and this would definitely help the AI understand you better when it comes to giving them instruction for how you want your prompt to appear. Now let me go to the text where I have that. Now this is it. This is the document I added it to. Now, if you see on this side, first of all, it looks at the rule, the philosophy, the advanced prompting techniques, which is your arsenal, the complexity tiers, the operational process, the output template, which must be on Markdown, domain specification intelligence, which is what you're specialized in, interaction guidelines, anti-patterns, what you never do, and start process. So it's a very long and detailed prompt which will definitely help you get the best result out of an AI or an LLM. So what I'll just do, let me just quickly show you on how you can use this. I'll just Control A, copy everything. And let's say I want to create a custom GPT on ChatGPT. If you're using ChatGPT, I'll start with ChatGPT. So first I'll just pull up ChatGPT. First of all, let me just drag this to this other screen. Okay, so I already have loads of custom GPTs, but I just create one from scratch so you can understand, or you'll be able to follow along on how to do this. So once you click on explore GPTs, so by the way, before I proceed, GPTs are basically it's just like your own agent, creating your own agent with instruction. So you create that, it's stored on the platform you're working with. For instance, now like ChatGPT, I have loads of GPTs. Let's say if I click on this, for instance, which is for digital portfolio manager, so it has already the instruction on the back side, on the back end of it. All I need to do is just to ask it a question based on instruction that I've given it in the past, or an instruction that I've stored into its memory. It understands what I need to do, and it gives me the best results. So custom GPTs are just like you creating an AI agent and giving them a lot of information, or giving them instruction on how you want them to act every time you come to them. So whenever you go to them for anything, inquiries or any queries or anything at all, they'll be able to give you the exact response you need based on the instruction you've given them. So that's how GPTs, projects, Gemini, James, that's how they all works. So you just have to give them an instruction, tell them what you want them to do, tell them how you want them to do it going forward. So whenever you come to them, you don't need to give them that instruction again. They already have that instruction saved in their memory. So they just go through that instruction and they'll be able to give you exactly what you want. Now let's go back to creating the GPTs. Now if you click on GPTs, you'll be able to see different GPTs that have been created by other users of ChatGPT. I believe this is for paid subscribers for you to be able to create this, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But it should, if you're on a paid subscriber, you should be able to have access to creating your own custom GPTs. So there are different GPTs. You can even search for the type of GPTs you want to, you're looking for, or what you want to find, and you should be able to find something that has been created by somebody in the past. Now, for you to create your own GPTs, you can just click on create. So when you click on create, you see this option for you to configure what you want to add to it and what you want it to be able to do. You can ask the AI to do that for you. You can just tell the AI that this is what you want to create. You want to create a custom GPT for prompt engineering, to be able to give you a detailed prompt and all that. Then the AI will help you populate every information you have here. But if you want to do that yourself, you already have the prompt, so you just have to create it yourself, give it a name. You can decide to just call it, let's say, prompt engineering guide. That's it. And just a short description. Helps me craft a better and detailed prompt. So just a short description about what it should be or what it's all about. Then for the instruction, this is where you paste what you've copied. Now, because of the document we copied, is just so large because it's a lot detailed. Let me just enlarge so you can see. So the prompt is just much more detailed that it's too much for the space or the column required for it. So we have to find a way to cut it short, or we have to find out an alternative way of adding that. So what I would recommend you do, let's just close this. What I would recommend you do would be to save the document. Now you have the document, you just have to save it, download it as Microsoft Word and save it on your computer. So that has been downloaded. Now if I go back to ChatGPT, I'll just have to reduce, let's say I would have to cut some of the text out because it's just way too much. Let's see, I'll cut to this part and see if that's enough. Nope, it's still much. GPT instructions cannot be longer than 8,000 characters. So that's for you to see how much details are in this instruction. I'll still cut some more out. So you don't have to worry about the ones you're cutting out. We'll still attach them from the downloaded document or with the downloaded document. So let's see. Okay, so now that's enough. So now what I need to do would be to upload a file. We have already downloaded the document. This is it, advanced custom instruction for prompting. I'll upload that. So now the uploaded document has the whole details, has the full instruction that I just, even the part that I deleted. So you don't have to worry about those parts you've deleted already. It's already in the document. Now, if you still have much more documents to attach or to add to it, you can even still do that. But because this is detailed enough for us, we just attach just this, and this gives us what we want. Now you can add a conversation starter, which is not mandatory. It's just to help people start a conversation with the AI, and you can just decide what to do with that. So once you're done with that, you can click on this to add an image. You can upload an image if you have an image to upload. I'll just look for, let's see, just upload this image, just for instance. Okay, so now I have the image, I have the prompt, I have the instruction created. So the next thing I'll do will be to save. But I can just go ahead and test first of all to see how it turns out, to see how it works. And I'll say I want to create a prompt for vibe coding a website, a personal website, for instance. I want to create a prompt for vibe coding a personal website. Now I would send. So let's see the response. Now it's had to think for about some seconds. Then it came up with tier selection, tier 3, mega prompt. A vibe coded personal website usually means multi-parts scope. Design plus content plus code plus deployment. So you get better results with the prompt that forces structure, modern stack choices, and quality gates. Now, see the beauty of this. Before it even gives us the prompt, it has to first of all explain to us what we will get from the prompt and telling us, okay, this is what you should be expecting to get because of what you're trying to do. Now it takes its time to give us the breakdown of what the prompt should look like. You are a staff front end engineer plus product designer, 10 years, who built. Let's see if I can push this bar. Yes, I can still push that. Context. So basically, if you see, looking at it, you can see that it follows our framework, our craft framework. This is the role, this is the context, this is the action. Now it's even giving you success, what success looks like. So for those product managers, you understand that this probably looks like what they call definition of done. So it's telling you what it should look like if it's going to be successful. This is the action. So with this action, it's going through the framework we talked about, which is the chain of thought, step by step, clarity and lock, information architecture, design system. So this is the chain of thought, explaining to the AI, letting the AI understand that this is the step I want you to take, step by step process for you to get that result. So it's even up to seven different chain of thought. Then there's constraints and rules. There's also some few short examples. So that even add examples to it. Few short examples, call to action, who the audience are, which is the tier 2 plus, self-evaluation checklist, tier 3. Oh my God, this is just way too detailed. This is exactly what you need if you want to have a good prompt. This is way too detailed. Then the code. Then after that, run plus deploy. Now this is number 7, the quality assurance checklist plus final implementation. If you paste this prompt into your code model and fill the bracket field, you'll get the full. So after even giving you the prompt, it has to also give you an architect's note guiding you on how the prompt works. Why tier 3, a good vibe site needs align IA plus design. This is even more than I expected, more than what I even planned for. So this is what you get when you use a much more detailed instruction or prompt to generate the prompt. So basically with this, you're getting the best. And this is just a single sentence that I just gave it. I want to create a prompt for vibe coding a personal website. And with that, you already understood what I want to do. And it gave me a mega prompt. Okay, so like I said, I'll leave the document down in the description below. You can download the document and you can just use it and create your own GPT. So once you're done with this, you create, and you can either create it for just yourself or for anyone with a link, or you add it to the GPT store. So I just create it for anyone with a link and I'll just save that. Now this will be saved as part of my GPTs. I can always access this anytime I want. I can always get this anytime I want. And once it's saved, that's it saved, and I'll click on view GPT. And this takes me to the page of the GPT. This is it, and I can find it here on the sidebar of my GPTs. So the same thing with the project as well. If you want to create it as project, you create a new project and give it a name. Once you give it a name, then it will give you the option for it to attach the document. You attach the same document. Now, if you're on Claude, you can do the same thing with Claude as well. I'll just quickly bring Claude up here. Do the same thing with Claude. So what Claude does basically is projects. You create a new project. Once you create a new project, add the name. After adding the name, add the description. create the project. Then the next thing is it asks you to add instruction. So you just copy the instruction and add, or you can attach it as well. That's basically it. So that's all you need to know about prompting. Once you're able to go through this process, once you're able to use this prompting guide, there is no way you'll be lagging behind when it comes to getting the best prompt. Okay, so this is it. If you have any question, or if you think I am too fast, or you think that you need further clarification on anything that I've talked about, just make sure to leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me where you're having difficulties, or tell me what you want me to cover next, and I'll be able to elaborate on that. So this is basically the end of it. And like I said, after this, the next video would be on learning at speed. So this is where I'll talk about how I learned faster and which AI tool I use to learn faster and to be able to understand things much more easier. And I'll go through the different AI tools that I use and show you how I use them and how to also help me become much more productive. So if you like this video and you think you enjoy the training or you like the tutorial, you can always hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of the next video that I bring up again. And just make sure you stay tuned and continue to learn, and definitely you will be among the best.